Hi!
Welcome to Intertwined Stitches, Episode 3. I am Lakshmi, also known as Knitter by Nature.
And I am Stephanie, also known as XCO Mom on Ravelry.
And
welcome!
Yes, welcome to everyone, all the new viewers, and welcome back to all the previous viewers.
Yes, thank you for coming back, and thank you for coming to check us out. We hope you have as much fun watching as we do recording.
Yes. We hope you had a good week. We had a pretty good week. I had my son's birthday on Thursday. We had a kind of a rough day the day before, so we're glad that, Thursday turned out to be a good day for him, and he got a couple things he really wanted for his birthday, and we're all set for school now, and I'm set to go back to work.
School starts tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it.
My son's not looking forward to it. I am, though.
My son is. See, we're switched. Your son's like, no. My son's like, woo! And I'm like, I don't like having to rush around like a mad person in the mornings.
Yeah, get everyone ready and come off to school.
Oh well. We do what we gotta do, right? He's a smarty pants. He does great at school. He loves it, so that's his thing. I can only be there. I don't have to be fully awake to make a lunch. Anyways, did you have finished objects?
I do have a few finished objects. I have a basic baby hat by Heather Tucker. I used Karen Simply Soft and a size 8 needle, which is a 5.0 millimeter. And this is for Click for Babies. And I remember no buttons, no straps, no pom-poms, anything like that. Just a basic baby hat. And because the pattern called for size 6 needles and I was using size 8, I just cast on for the preemie size to get a newborn size, and I knit the length for the newborn hat and then just decrease for the newborn, the preemie size. And it was super simple, super quick, a couple hours, and it's really soft and nice, and I think that will find a good home.
It's a pretty color purple.
And
it matches you. Your purple ensemble today.
You're right. And I'd like to point out what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my Hitchhiker.
It's really pretty.
By Martina Bim, and I used Malabrigo yarn sock and size 3 needles. I think that's a 3.25 millimeter. And
remember the colorway?
Indicita. Which mostly Indicitas I see have more of a blue. This has more of a purpley
and green.
Yeah, so it's a little different than other ones I've seen. And so the wingspan turned out to be about just 2 inches short of my wingspan.
Oh, nice.
So, and I got 41 points, which is how old I am, so that worked out perfect.
Nice.
And I have a couple other finished objects. I have 2 crocheted objects. I was making a little square single crochet dishcloth, and I was like, this is so boring. So I looked on Ravelry for some fun dishcloth patterns, and I found Flower Power. So I made a couple of these, and this is Lion Brand Kitchen Cotton and Sugar and Cream for the middle, and I used a size I hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter. And I did another one, Sugar and Cream Scraps. Just scraps I had in my yarn stash. And I was thinking, I really like this pattern. I'm probably going to get some more yarn in coordinated colors so I can make gifts for Christmas, nice gifts. Or even housewarming gifts. And you can add a little bit of handmade soap with it. I think that'd really nice.
Great. And they totally remind me of the 60s flower, totally flower power, man. I like it. If you had neons.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
That would be cool.
Okay, I have one finished object. I was trolling through my Facebook newsfeed and this hat popped up. It was from the Repeat Crafter Me website or blog. I think it was a blog. And so I had to make it for my son.
It's so
cute. Loves sharks, and he loves when mommy makes him hats. And he is a total hat kid. They had a jazz concert last winter, and they just asked for the kids to dress nicely, church clothes, I guess, dressed nice. And he was all decked out. He had a tie on and his vest, and he has one of those, what are those hats called? Why can I not think?
Hat?
No, like a Justin Timberlake, fedora. That's what they're called. He was wearing a fedora, and he thought he was a newspaper reporter. He was super cute, and all the parents loved him. The teachers liked the hat so much they just let him wear it. But he wears hats all the time if he can get away with it. A big thing this summer, he was wearing a top hat for most of the summer after his birthday because he fancies himself a magician, and that was his magician hat. Anyway, sidetracked. This is his shark hat now. It is like 85 degrees today, and he was wearing it up until the podcast. He gave it to me so I could show it, but he wants it right back. But here's this. It has 2 rows of teeth in the front because I made the gums too big, so whenever I made the teeth, they look silly. Like, why are there gums hanging down below his teeth? So I made 2 rows of teeth because they're sharks, and sharks have multiple rows of teeth. But that is just out of some of the stash. And I made it have little ties on the end in the coordinating colors for like a snowboarder sort of feel to it. And the ear flaps are the fins down the side. So very cute, very quick.
Love it.
I think it's adorable. I might do a little something with the eyes because they're like, it reminds me of the movie Jaws, where it's like, it's got doll's eyes, dead eyes. So I might stitch a little white something on the sides, like give it a little depth is what I mean. I guess when they're in a feeding frenzy, their eyes do go black, but whatever. And that's my only finished object, except for spinning. So you want to talk about what you have, what you're working on?
Sure, I'm working right now on my parakeet socks. These are knit out of Knit Pick Stroll. They were in the bear color, and I dyed them in this color I'm calling parakeet. And I use size 2 needles, which is 2.75 millimeter. And I just keep these in my purse for, when I go to office visits and stuff. So I haven't had like much knitting time working on them this week. But as soon as I get some time just to sit down and work on them, I'd like just to finish them up because it would only probably take a couple hours to finish these.
Right, it's that.
Yeah. So that's one thing I'm working on. I'm also working on the Citron Grand by Hilary Smith Callis, and this is a paid for pattern, which is a larger version of the free pattern that you can find on knitty.com. And I'm using Knit Pick Stroll Bear again, and I'm going to keep it this color, I think. I was wearing a dress the other day that I really could use something this color, but instead I was knitting it, so I was coordinating anyway. And I'm using size 6 needles, which is a 4.0 millimeter, and I like it. I like how it's coming out. I've just started the 4th section, so I'm on my ruching, which is the least favorite part because you double your stitches across the row. So I'll be glad when I get to the end of that. And it's a pretty simple pattern. I do sometimes have to use row counter just to make sure I'm doing as many rows as I'm supposed to, because it's kind of a pain to count them.
I think with you keeping it that natural color, it looks very elegant.
I think so. Yeah.
Simple elegance.
Right. And then I'm also working on my Tuscan Sunflower Shawl by Jeffrey Honeycutt, knit out of Knit Picks palette.
So pretty.
It's knit in Merlot, Heather, and the turmeric color, and I'm using size 6 needles again, 4.0 millimeter. And I'm using the shawl as a little pocket for my ball of yarn. It works
Which I think
that way.
is clever.
I just started the 3rd ball of yarn. Last time you saw it, I was probably down here, and I started the last chart, and I put a lifeline in. I'm just about at the point where I'm going to put another lifeline in because I'm at the end of a leaf. I have one more leaf repeat to do, and then I start the edging, which is individual leaves that you do around the shawl, and I really love how it's coming out. I've been working on it every day. The pattern is super simple now. I've worked on it so much that it's kind of intuitive now.
Yeah.
I just see that where the stitches are lining up, and I see that it's coming out perfect. There's only one mistake that I made so far, and that was missed yarn over. So as long as you're able to like read your knitting, you're able to fix little mistakes like that. And I was just able to pick it back up from 2 rows below and fix it, and I'm really glad that I ripped back before and took out the mistakes that I had fudged before, so now I know it's completely perfect.
Now, whenever you do the edging and you're doing the individual leaves, is that when you're binding off? It's like each leaf is bound off?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So it'll you'll be able to start to see the width of it when I start to do the edging, which will be exciting.
Such a pretty pattern.
Yeah.
But it just looks way too complicated.
Yeah, it is kind of complicated, especially for beginner lace knitters. I would recommend this for, at least intermediate.
Intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
I am not intermediate. I've only been knitting in general for like 2 years.
The petal section isn't hard. It's just the beginning that's pretty tricky.
I almost just yarned over on a garter stitch, so I'm not ready for that. Oops. Yep. I am still plugging away on my color affection, which every week I feel like I keep saying I'm almost to that second color, but I almost really am. I'm like 7 rows away from the blue.
Okay.
So close. I'm trying to keep talking until I get to the end of the row so I can show you. Wednesday night, my family, all 5 of us, went to a baseball game. Single A ball, but it was free. My husband works for an insurance company, and Safelight, the car window people, they paid for us to go. They gave us tickets that included free food, and we got ball caps, and the boys got foul balls, and it was very cool. The away team's relief pitchers were all like, there was a fence right in front of us, it was very open fence, like where you park your bike and like chain it to. It was like that kind of fence, and they were just right there. We could touch their heads. We were giving them cookies, and they were sharing with my boys, even though they had their own cookies. But they were very nice guys. They ended up giving my boys like 4 different foul balls throughout the evening.
Very cool.
They kept giving it to my oldest son, who is 6, and he is such a sweet kid. They gave him the first one, and he immediately turned around and gave it to his 2-year-old brother because he loves ball so much.
Aww.
He was like, I know that it will make Owen happy because he loves ball balls. And it was so sweet, like, oh, my heart. But then the next one he gave to a boy that wasn't even with us. He was part of a different group, but he gave it to him because he didn't have one. But he's the sweetest kid ever. I'm really going to miss him when he goes to school. And he keeps telling me, it's okay, Mom. I'll draw you a picture so you can remember me while I'm at school.
Oh, that's sweet.
Anyways, so we were at the ball game, and I had to tink back because I thought that I had done a yarn over. And I tink back. It ended up just being a drop stitch. But I'm working away very diligently, and I look up, and 3 of the relief pitchers are all turned around watching me knit, like, what on earth is she doing?
They must not see many knitters.
I thought it was kind of comical because I'm there watching them play baseball, and they're turned around watching me knit. Like, you could come to my living room and do this too. But I'm almost to the end. I am knitting. This is the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki, and this is my second one. I love knitting this pattern. It's just very soothing to me. I think I said that last time, but I'm knitting it out of the Stroll Tonal from Knit Picks in the Pearlescent colorway is my main color, and then my contrast color is Deep Waters, which is a blue and purple. I will show you in 2 stitches. And then my Papa color at the end is in the Leslie colorway of Kramer yarn. But that's how far it is.
It's looking a lot bigger than your last one already.
Yeah. My last one, I must have messed up numbers somewhere. Like, I almost did this time where I thought, oh, I'm almost done with this part. No, I was looking at the lace part. But it's wider, almost wider than my needle. I'm going to have to go up in needle size. But there's the Pearlescent knit up. It kind of, to me, looks dirty because of the slight variation in the natural color as opposed to the gray. It's so subtle that it just looks like a dirty white to me. But there's that, and then the Deep Waters is really pretty blue and purple. And then my Papa color at the end, and the Leslie colorway is my Kramer yarn, which is hot pink and bright purple. So that's what I did a lot of knitting on. I also picked up, this has been car knitting, It's been in my purse, in the car, for a while. I just pick it up whenever I was knitting on it this week at the doctor's office for my wee boy had to go for his 2-year-old checkup. And I was knitting on this, and the receptionist was like, "Are you making mittens?" I'm like, "Those would be really thin, long mittens." But no, they're socks. So there's that. That is in Felici in the Sunny Day colorway. I started these at the beginning of summer when I went to go on the beach trip, because I thought these are really beachy colors. I'll have this done on the car trip there, because we drive from here to North Carolina. It's like 12 hours. Yeah,
That's a lot of car knitting time.
you would think there would be a lot of car knitting time, but with 3 boys in the back seat saying, "Mom, I need this. Mom, he's touching me. Mom, Mom." Doesn't happen.
Right.
But I just put in the waist yarn for an afterthought heel.
And you're
So-
doing it 2 at a time to what?
Yeah, doing 2 at a time, just a generic out of my head pattern. I was like, I'll cast on this many and increase to here. I fit, so that's what I do. I don't do a really big cuff because I don't like the restriction of a long sock. I'm weird like that. And so I only usually do ankle socks. So I only have a few more inches on that.
Okay,
Hopefully
yeah.
I can get those cranked out and just work on the heels next week. Hopefully. Maybe. Depends on how much knitting time I get. And then the rest of my knitting time was spent on my secret knitting for the Amigurumi Anonymous group. We are doing a swap, a Mad Hatter Tea Party swap, and my partner is Jecker. So Jecker, if you're watching this, go away for a minute. I'm going to show it. It is Mad Hatter Alice in Wonderland themed, and her favorite character from Alice in Wonderland is the White Rabbit. So I am making her a Chester the Bashful Bunny from Rebecca Danger. And here's what he looks like when the professional knits him up. And so I'm knitting mine. It was just some white fingering that I found in the stash. Didn't have a ball band, so it's just mystery white. But I've got this far on him. Just a couple more rows before I start decreasing. He kind of looks like a tooth right now.
He's going to be little.
He is. He's going to be very wee, and I'm very excited. I'm going to knit him all up regular style. No mods. And then I'm going to sew him a little outfit out of felt so that he looks just like the White Rabbit. So he'll have a little red overcoat and a little yellow vest and his little pocket watch. Because he's late, he's late, he's late. But, he's even going to have the little red eyes. Somebody sent these for me, or to me, from a swap. So he's going to have the red eyes. And I actually have an Angora bunny upstairs who is a red-eyed doe, and she's white with the bright red eyes. So it kind of reminds me of her, but she's Angora and very fluffy, and this bunny's not very fluffy. But there's that, and he's due like September 5th, I believe. So he really needs to get out, or else he really is going to be late. So hopefully I can get that done this week. So the socks might not be done, but the rabbit will be done. But you guys might not see him finished. It'll have to be a picture because he'll get sent out as soon as he's done.
Right.
So I don't get in trouble. So spinning.
You have some finished spinning.
Yeah, but I feel like I've talked forever, so you can go ahead.
Okay. I got some new fiber in the mail, so I took off the Ashland Bay Merino that I was spinning. I just took that off the wheel and said, you know, you can rest for a little while. I'm done with you.
You think about what you've done.
So, and I got a gradient from Friends in Fiber, which is a superwash BFL and nylon blend. And this is a blue to green 6-step gradient.
It's very pretty.
And I started with a green.
Something about that color green right now. I just love it.
I know, I do too. It's very
In my
pretty.
hand.
Yeah, maybe. So that's how thin it is. And it does seem to be like a strong single. I've never used nylon before, and it's a little bit slicker as I spin with it than I'm used to. Like I've been spinning a lot of merino lately, and it's just like a little bit slippery, so it took a little bit of time to get used to. But I really like it a lot. It's probably meant best to be for socks, but I'm going to make it a nice light fingering weight and for a shawl or something.
That'll be
nice
pretty.
gradient.
I bet the citron would look pretty in a gradient like that.
Yes.
where you stuck. It would be pretty.
And then I have some fiber in my spindle. I found the first hand-dyed fiber that I ever bought, which is this Frabjous Fibers
so
Merino
sparkly.
Sparkle. And I think it's the Cottage Garden colorway. Got some green and some pinks.
It's right here somewhere.
Oh. We have Frabjous Fibers at our local yarn shop, and that's where I got my Ashford spindle and my Ashford spinning wheel.
It's not down here.
And this is kind of like a Frankenskein. I just started this with like little samples I got of different colors, and then when I have the whole spindle filled up, I'm going to Navajo ply it, and then I can just cut the colors apart as I need them.
I bet it'll be pretty.
Yeah.
I really like this colorway. I think I have that same colorway, only mine wasn't sparkly.
Oh, okay.
And I think it turned out really, really pink. Mine wasn't as red as yours.
Alright.
Different bases,
I love the
different
sparkle.
color. I started Navajo plying my Hulk bat. I've got 2/3 of it done. The rest is on the thing, but I am still really new to Navajo plying. This is my 3rd ever attempt at it.
You did pretty good.
It's alright. Oh, my thing's all coming apart. There's still some coils and whatever.
And I hate when it breaks when you're trying to Navajo ply.
I try not to curse ever, but Navajo plying brings out the sailor talk in me. I had to send the boys outside because I'm just grumbling and swearing under my breath. But here's the first third. I really like how this did like a gradient where it's the dark and then the mid and that pop of green that I absolutely love. And it's very sparkly. Doo, doo, doo. So there's that third. This one's my favorite third. I don't know what it's going to become. I got to wash and thwack it still. It's still very... There's my bow. It's still very energized.
And you had to cut that off the bobbin?
Yes. I had to cut the dark green and I lost the end. It got all tangled. It was a hot mess. I lost probably a good 5 yards of it just trying to untangle it. It was a disaster. I'm not even going to undo this one. But then there's this one where I started the purple, the last bit of dark green, and there's purpley bits. It's very pretty. I'm excited. It's pretty good. Pretty good Navajo. Not perfect, but neither am I, so that's exciting. Yay.
Yay. Any idea what you'll use them for?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm not ready to
A lot of
use
my
it yet.
spinning is like that. It will sit until it calls out
Right.
for something.
Maybe the perfect pattern will be invented soon, and I'll be like, oh, that's it. That's what you have to be. Do you have any feeding of the stash?
I do. I got that one braid from Friends and Fiber, and I got another one of some BFL silk. And I'll take it out so you can see it better.
It's very fall colors.
Yes, I love fall. My birthday's in October, so I'm a fall baby. So I'm really drawn to the fall colors. And this is called Bordeaux Mine Fusion. It's got lots of pretty...
She has interesting names for her stuff.
She does.
I got one, my most recent spin from Friends and Fibers was called Fibonacci Goes Bollywood. And it was a gradient. It's actually right behind your head, that green and yellow and pink one. Yeah. It was fun. I liked it. But
yeah, she has a lot of great stuff. So I would recommend her for an Etsy shop to visit.
She's very fun.
Friends and Fiber.
And she's very reasonably priced.
And soon I'll be having more stash enhancement because I'm going back to work this week, so I'm going to have some extra pocket money. I've had the whole summer off, so I've been really anxious to get back to work, and I'm going to be ordering the yarn for the Stephen West knit along. And I decided what yarn I'm going to get. I'm going to get Tosh Merino Light, and I've got my colors picked out, and they're in my shopping cart, all ready to go until next week when I get my paycheck.
Sweet!
And then we'll have to save up for Rhinebeck.
Yes, I am on a self-imposed yarn and fiber diet because we are going to Rhinebeck in October. Yay! And we also are going to go to Stitches East, which is in Hartford. So we're lucky enough to be like an hour's drive from there. So, woohoo!
So we will be at Rhinebeck meeting up at the podcaster meetup, mostly just to meet the other podcasters.
If you want to come say hi to us, by all means, come over. But I'm not expecting
No.
people to be like, oh, I know who you are. I'm going to be like, oh, I know who you are.
Not yet.
So that's exciting.
Yes.
So if you want to come see us, if you see us at Stitches or at Rhinebeck, come on over, say hi. Maybe we'll have something for you.
In the meantime, you can check us out over on the Ravelry board and chat it up over there. Please join. We have about 46 members, and once we get to 100, we're going to have another prize drawing. Yay! Everyone loves prizes.
Speaking of prizes, you want to draw for this one?
Yes.
Actually, we already drew. We drew on our last take that didn't work out so well, so it's to your benefit. But we did
Draw for the prize.
We drew from 2 through 12, and the winner ended up being number 4. Yeah, this is my
Lone Star
husband's
Knits.
iPad, and I suck at it, so I can't pull it up again. But it was number 4, Lone Star Knits. So Stephanie from Texas, if you want to contact me, I will send your lovelies out to you. So exciting! Our first giveaway.
Yay! New soft yarn.
Speaking of exciting and yarn money, I am going to be selling stitch markers through Stacy from the Mustache Girls, their podcast. They're really cute. You should check them out. She's opening a shop on Big Cartel, and her shop is the Mustache Shop. bigcartel.com, and she's going to be selling my stitch markers, which is really exciting. Yay. So you should go and check it out. I think her first update is going to be the 24th. She probably won't have my stitch markers yet because I haven't mailed them, and that's tomorrow. So hopefully her next update will have my stitch markers in it. But she has...
24th was yesterday.
No, tomorrow's 24th. 26th. 26th is tomorrow. I know my days. So anyways, her update's tomorrow. She has some really, really pretty self-striping yarn, and some of it's sparkly. Yay. Everyone loves sparkle.
I love sparkle.
So check it out. Pretty soon she'll be having my stitch markers in there, and I'm really excited about it. Yay.
Extra yarn money.
Yes. So I gotta save it all up for the Rhinebeck. Right. I think that's about it, right?
Yes, you can find show notes at our blog, which is intertwinedstitches.wordpress.com.
Yep. Every week we do our best to put those up along with the stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you can also find us on Ravelry. I'm knitterbynature, also on Plurk and Instagram.
Not on Plurk, but I am on Instagram as XCO Mom. And I've been thinking about doing Twitter. We'll see if I drink the Kool-Aid and jump on that board or not. We'll see.
Okay.
Have a great week.
Yes. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
Bye.
Bye.